Good evening. In previous session, we have seen about basics of list. In today's session, we are going to see about functions and methods that can be applied on our list data type. Okay. So first, we are going to see about a method, basic method, that is len method. So already the same method we have applied on our strings also to find the length of the string. In the same way here, len method is used to find the length of the given list. That means it is going to return int type. That is what integer value. Okay. For example, I am going to consider a list called as A equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, for example. Now, if I want to find the length of the list, what I have given here, I have to use a method function called as len. What I have to write? Len of A. So it is going to return me what? How many elements that are present in the list? That is 1, 2, 3, 4. So answer will be what? 4, which is integer value. That means len function is going to return int type. That means it is going to give me what? Output as integer value. So if I am going to consider the indexes, those are from 0 to 3. But if I am going to consider the size, that is the length of the list, it is going to give number of elements that are present inside the list. That is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the use of len function. So let us see a small example for this len function. So initially I am going to take one small list of elements. So L equal to, I'm going to take 3 or 4 elements in the list. So here I have taken some 5 elements I'm going to take. Now if I want to find the length of the list, for example, before going to that, let us see what it contains. So it contains what? 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Now I want to find the length of that L. So how many elements are there? 5 elements are there. So it is going to give you what? 5. Okay. So this is the use of len function. Next one is count. We are going to see about count function or count method. You cannot say it is a function, it is a method. So you can understand the difference between method and function when we are going for the concepts of object oriented programming. Okay. So now I'm going to take a method called as count. So method called as what? Count. So this count method returns the number of times the specified element is appeared in the list. That means, for example, here I am having 10, 20, 10, 30, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So this is a list of elements. Let us consider it as a L. Okay, L equal to 10, 20, 10, 30, 20, 30, 40, 50. A list of elements I have taken. Now I want to find the number of times 10 has occurred in my list. They are present in my list. So I have to use what? I have to use a method called as count. L dot count of 10. I want to count what? I want to count number of times 10 is occurred in my list. So how many times it is occurred here? 1, 2. So answer will be what? Int type. It is going to return what? Integer only. So number of times is what? 2. So I can say what? The count method returns the number of times the specified element appears in the list. So this is the statement. What it is going to say? It is going to give me an output of how many occurrences are there in the list. So I am finding for what? 10. So how many occurrences are there? 2 occurrences are there. So the output will be what? 2. Okay. In the same, if I want to find number of occurrences for 20, for example. So in this way, I have to give. So answer will be what? It will count number of 20s that are present in the list. That is 1, 2. Here also answer will be 2. In the same way, if you want to find for anyone, okay, it will give you that count. Okay. For example, count of 30 I am going to give. So 1, 2. So it is going to give you what? 2. So now let us see the same example. Okay, now see, I am going to consider a list of elements with a duplicate values 10, 20, 30 and 20, 30, 40, 10, 30, 30, for example, 40 and 50. These are the list of elements I am going to take. Now I want to find the count of 10. That means how many times 10 has there in our list. So see, L dot count, how many times? So check here, 1 and 2. So count will be what? 2. In the same way, if I want to find count of 30, for example. So how many times 30 is there? So that is 1 and 2 and 3. 3 times it is there. Okay. Sorry, 4 times it is there. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. 4 times is there. So count is going to return what? 4. Now the concept is, for example, I want to count number of times 60 is 60 number of occurrences. Is there any 60 in the list of elements? No. It is going to return what? 0. That means if the element that is present in the list, it is going to count number of times. If the element that is not present in the list, it is going to give the count as what? 0. How many occurrences are there for 60? If 60 is not present, that means 0 number of times it is going to present in my list. So it's going to return what? 0. So if you want to find one more, for example, I want to find for 40. So just take 40. So it's going to give you what? 2. So that is what? 1 and 2. So count is a function that is going to return a number of times the specified element. Specified element means what? This is the specified element appears in the list. So it count is going to check number of times that is going to be present in the given list. Okay, right. This is about second method. Now let us consider third one, that is index. Okay, so index is a method. So already we have seen the same concept in our string also. So index. So here index method, this is a method which returns the index of the specified element. It is going to specify what? It is going to give you the index of the specified element in the list. For example, L equal to, so just here I'm going to take numericals. You can take any type of data. Okay, right. Now I want to find the index of, I want to find the index of 20, for example. So what is the index? 0, 1, 2, 3. Index is what? 1. So it is going to return what? Index. Index is nothing but what? Numerical. So we have seen what? First one is len. Next one is what? Count. Now we are going to see about indexes. All these three returns what? Int values only. That means numerical values only. Okay. In the same way, if I want to find some index of 10, for example. So index of 10 is what? 0. Okay. The index is nothing but what? For every value, we are going to have the indexes. So it is going to return you only positive indexes. Okay. By default, we are going to consider positive indexes only. So if we want to find the index of a element which is not present in the given list, for example, then we are going to get, for example, here I am going to get 60. So here 60 is not present in the given list. So we are going to get an error, that is nothing but a value error. Why it is going to give you a value error? Because here the value whatever we want to search for, that is not present in the given list. So we are going to get what? Value error. And here in the index we are having two parameters. With the element we are going to have how many parameters? Two more parameters. One is start, another one is end parameter. That means if I want to search, if I want to find the element of the element, that is nothing but 10's index. If I want to find the index of 10, from which location, from which index? 2 to 4, for example. Already we know the concept. It will search for where? 2 to 3 only. That means from 2 to 3, is there any a value called as 10? No. If it is present, it is going to give you the index. That means here it is nothing but what? Starting, and it is ending. So one more example I am going to consider. Index of 10. For example, I am going to consider a list contains 10 elements. So from 311 I am going to write. That indicates what? I want to find the index of 10 from starting element 3 2. This is start, and ending element is what? It is going to consider only up to 10. Already we know this logic, which is nothing but n minus 1. So it is going to find the index of 10 which is present in between the indexes 3 and 11, 3 and 10. Let us see the examples. So see here, L equal to, I am going to take group of values. I will take the duplicate values also. Okay. Now see, here I have taken some list of elements. So now I want to find the index of 30 for or 20 for example. So see here, 20 is present at which index? First index, 0 and 1. Now I want to find the index of 30. So here it is going to give me what? Only the index of this 30 but not this one. That means index is going to return the first occurrence, index of first occurrence only. Now I'm going to show you one index of 80 for example. So is there any 80 in the given list? Not there. So it is going to give me what? Value error, and it is saying what? 80 is not in the list. Now next one, I want to show you from starting and ending. I want to take two more parameters in this index. That is, I want to find 30. If I write normal 30, we got answer as what? 30 means we got the index 2. But I want to find the index of this one. So what I am going to do? The index of this one is what? 0, 1, 2, 3. I want to find from the third location until what? This is third. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will take up to 8. Or I will take, okay, 8. So that means what? It is going to consider only up to 7 only. Anyway, we are going to get value as what? 4. Why we are going to get 4 here? Reason is starting index is what? 3. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. Here, from here, I am going to start search for the value called as 30. So what is the index of this one? 3. What is the index of this one? 4. Automatically, we are going to get what? 4 only. We are not seeing about these indexes. We are starting from third index. So we got answer as what? This one. For example, I want to consider 70. So if I take 8 here, for example, I'm going to take 8 only and I will search for 70. So why we are going to get value error here? You may think that, sir, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In 8 index, we are going to have 70. Why we are going to get value error here? Reason is, here we are, if we are going to take 8, it is going to consider as what? Only up to 7. If we want to consider last element in the above list, we have to take what? 9. That indicates what? It is going to consider 70 also, 8th index also. So we are going to get what? Answer as 8. So you have to understand only these 2 points. If I write 8, it will consider from 3 to 7. If I write 9, it will consider up to 3 to 8. Already we know this concept. That is what? Start is what? Here 3. End is what? We are going to take it as a 9, but it is going to consider only up to index 8 only. 9 minus 1, it is nothing but 8. So this is the concept of index. Okay. So one point you have to understand is what? Index is going to return the index of first occurrence only. If you consider here, if I write 30, it is going to give me what? Only the first occurrence. Index of first occurrence only. It is not going to give the second occurrence or third occurrence. It is going to give only the first occurrence. Okay. This is about index. Now let us see next method, that is append. So already we have seen the append method in previous classes. So what is meant by append method and what is the use of this append method? Means if you want to add any item or any element to a list, we can use this append method. Okay, what is the use of this append method? To add the elements, to add the element, okay, to the list. So I am adding the element to the list. Where I am going to add? At the end, at the end of the list, at the end of the list. So if you want to add any element to the list after creating the list, then we can use a method called as append. Okay. And one more point we have to understand, what that is, it is going to add at the end of the list only. Reason is what? If if we are going to take one example, that is L equal to 10, 20, 30, three elements I am going to take. So internally it is going to create in this way. Okay. Now the name of this one is what? L. If I am going to write L dot append of, I want to append 40 value into my list. So already we know one point about the list is what? Insertion order is preserved. That means what? Whatever the order we are going to insert the elements, in the same order it is going to store. So here I have given 10 first location, 20 second location, 30 third location. Now I am going to insert one more value called as 40. So automatically it will store in the last position of the list only, that is end of the list only. And next point about this append is, here append does not return any value. That means here if you are going to see about index, it is going to give me what? Some numerical value or int value. And if you are going to see about count, it is going to give number of occurrences. So that is nothing but count. It is also written what? Int. Now if you are going to consider this append, or if you are going to consider once again length method, it is also giving me what? Return type as what? Int. But this append is not going to return anything. That means it is going to return none. So I will show you none value also. If I use this append method, it is returning what? None. If it is not going to return anything, it is going to return what? None value. Just I will take a list of elements and I will show you how to append the values into the list. So I'm going to take three values in a list. So I want to append the value. So before appending, I want to show you the list. That is, it is going to contain only three values, 10, 20, 30. Now I want to append 40 value to my list. So here directly we can give in this way. Now if you see L, what happens? 40 is inserted at the end of the list. Now I want to insert one more element to my list. That is, for example, so as our list can store heterogeneous values, I can use str type also. So now see, so it is going to insert Shiva also at the end of the list only. Now if I write print off, see, if you observe this here, see here, L dot index of 30, it is returning what? Index. That means it is going to return, see here, it is going to return some value. But whenever I'm going to write this L dot append of 40, is it giving me any value here? Nothing. That means it is going to return none. So if I want to show you that, if you want to see it, see, just I will write it in a print. Just I will do what? 50 I am going to add. So see what happens, it's going to print none. That means the return type of append is what? None. So the same thing here, if I am going to write, I want to use index of. So here in this list of elements, so where is that? Here in this list of elements, I want to find the index of 30. So L dot index of 30 I want to find. So see what it is going to return. It is going to return some value, but append is not going to return any value, so that it is returning what? None value. Okay, right. This is about append method. Okay, so for example, I'm going to consider one small example for this append method, as generally we will use this append method in our coding part. So I will take one program to explain you. Okay, right. The program is, I want to take a list of elements. Okay, in that I want to separate the elements which are divisible by 2, which are divisible by 3, and which are divisible by 5. First I will write the program here, next I will code it. So what is my program? I want to take list of elements. First is what? Take list of elements, and from that list of elements I want to find the elements which are divisible by 2, divisible by 3, and divisible by 5. I want to find separately. That means if I ask about divisible, any number that is divisible by 2, it has to give me all the elements. For example, 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 33, for example. The list of elements I have taken here. What are divisibles of 2? 10, 20, 30. It will give these 3. If I ask about this 3, so we have to write in such a way the program. So what are the divisibles of 3 here? 30 and 33. In the same way, 5. What are divisibles of 5? 10, 20, 25, 30 and 35. So now I will write a program for this one. So, and I am going to store what? I am going to store the number divisible by 2 in one list, number divisible by 3 in one list, number divisible by 5 in one list. That means here I require 3 more lists. Okay, just while writing the program, I will explain the concept. Now see, first thing what I require, I want to take list of elements. So that first I am going to use name called as L, for example. So in this, what I have to read, I want to read from the keyboard. So just I am going to write eval. I want to ask the user to enter the list of element. Enter the list of elements. Right. So user can understand what? So I have to enter the list of elements. So he will enter the list of elements and the elements will be stored in where? L. So first step is completed. Now what I require here, I want to find the numbers that are divisible by 2. First one. Second one is what? Which are divisible by 3. And third one is what? Which are divisible by 5. So that I have to take what? L1 equal to, for example, empty list L2. Okay, separately I am taking L2, which is empty list, and also L3 I am going to consider empty list. So now what I have to do? I want to find from the list. So for every element I have to check. That means first I have to check 10 whether it is divisible by 2 or not. First one. Second check is what? Whether that element is divisible by 3 or not. Next check is what? Whether that element is divisible by 5 or not. Next, after completing first element, I have to go to second element. That means I am go on searching for all elements in the list, so that I have to take for loop for I in L. That means for every value in L. For every value in L, I am going to check the whether it is divisible by 2, 3 and 5. So this is the case. So this for loop indicates what? For every element in L. So what I have to check? If I divisible by 2, how to find that it is going to divisible by 2, 3 and 5? Just I will write percentile 2 equal to 0. That means if any number is going to divisible by 2, then automatically remainder will be what? 0. Then automatically I can store it in what? For example, I am going to store whatever the numbers that are going to be divisible by 2, that will be stored in L1. So just I am going to write a statement called as what? L1 dot append of I. Append of I am going to write. That means whenever the number is going to be divisible by 2, it will go into the list 1. Okay, if it is next, if it is not going to divisible by 2, it will not store in the L1. If this condition is satisfied, then only we will enter into this if loop, sorry, if condition. Now, so first one is completed, first case is completed. Now I want to check for what? Same thing I want to check for 3. Okay, that is what? I divisible by 3. So if it is divisible by 3, the remainder will be what? 0. Then I have to append that value to what? L2. Okay, next same case for L3, sorry, that is nothing but our 5 divisible by 5. Next, if it is so, I have to store that value inside a 3, L3. Now if we want to see the values that are divisible by 2, 3 and 5 separately, just print those elements. So that is nothing but elements divisible by 2, where those are present inside the L1. So write down that L1 inside L1. If you want to write for loop also, you can write it, but just I am going to print the elements directly inside a list only. Right now, divisible by 3, where those are present inside L2. Next, divisible by 5, those are present inside a L3. Okay, now see here what happens. First element is going to be taken from the list. For example, first element is what? 10 here. So 10 will be taken into this I. So 10 percentile 2, is it equal to 0? Yes. If I divide 10 by 2, the remainder will be 0. So the condition is satisfied. So I will enter into this if condition. So here what I am doing, L1 dot append of I. I am going to insert the 10 into L1. That means in L1 10 is present. Completed. This if is completed. Now come to this if. Now I value is what? 10 only. 10 modulo 3. That means if 10 is divisible by 3, it will give you 0. If 10 modulo 3, it will not give 0 because 10 is not going to be divisible by 3. So I will not enter into this one. Next, it will come to next if statement. 10 modulo 5 equal to 0. That means if 10 is going to be divided by 5, it is going to return 0. So it is going to return 0 here. Then I will enter into this one. And what I will do, L3 dot append of 5. The 10 is going to be placed in L3 also. For first element, I have checked for all these three cases. Next, for loop is completed. Once again, I will go back to this for loop. Next, second value is what? 20. It will go for, the value will be what now? 20. Same, it will check for all these conditions and so on. For elements that are present in the list, it will check all these three conditions. Based on the condition, if it is satisfied, it will enter into that if condition and it will store the value in a particular list. So now let us see the output. Okay, so this is the example where we can show for our append method. So just I'm going to take list of elements. In that list of elements, I will take 10, 15, 18, 22, 27, for example, 29, 30, 33, 35, 48, 60, for example. So now, if I press enter, automatically, as per our code, it is going to divide the number of elements separately and it stores based on the whether it is divisible by 2, whether it is divisible by 3, and whether it is divisible by 5 or not. So see, so what happens among in this list? So what are the divisibles of 2? 10, 18, 22, 30, 48 and 60. So we got it. Next, what are the divisibles of 5? 15, 18, 27, 30, 33, 48 and 60. If you observe here, 10 is present 2 times. That means what? It is divisible by 2 and it's also divisible by 5. No problem. Okay. So in this way, we can use the append. Okay. So generally, we will use the append concept with the list because we will insert the elements whenever we want into our list. Right now, so here I want to tell you one point that we can change the size of the list. So which was discussed in previous session, that is a property of your list. That is what I can increase the size of the list which is created. So here what happened, first I have created a list. First I have created a list called as L1, L2 and L3 which are empty. So that later I have added what? The elements here. That means I have changed the size of the list. I have increased the size of the list here. So if you want to decrease the size of the list also, I can do it. So by using the remove method, there I will explain once again. Okay, now this method is going to do what? It is going to insert the element to the end of the list. And we can say that by using the append method, we can increase the size of the list whenever we require. So here what we are doing, we are inserting the element at a last position, but I want to insert the element at any particular location. That means I want to insert element at second location or I want to insert at third location. Is it possible? Yes. Now it is possible by insert method. Append method always adds the at the end of the list. But now if you are going to see about insert method, append always does what? It will insert at the end of the list only. Now if you are going to see insert method, if it is going to insert an element to the list at any specified location, or we can say at any specified index. Okay, let us see the one example for this one. right? So I'm going to take some elements here. L equal to 10, 20, 30 and 40. Now I want to insert some element 15, for example, at second location. Okay, at second location I want to insert 25. So now what happens? It will check for the second location. This is index is what? 0, 1, 2, 3. What is the second location here? 30. So this 25 will be inserted here and the index of 30 will be changed. Okay. And one more point we have to discuss about this insert is, this insert is not going to return any value. That means it is going to return what? None. It is going to return what? Null. And the point we have to understand here, if I am going to consider one string, yes, and okay, here Shiva is there, and if I am modifying anything, that is s dot replace of, what can I say, I want to replace I with some a. Okay, now it will be changed. The string is going to be modified and it will not be changed in the same, it will not change in the same object. A new object will be created and in that the updated string is going to be stored. Because why it is going to be done in such a way? The reason is our strings are immutable, cannot be changed once we are going to create. But here our list is what? Mutable. That means it can be changed. So here in this concept, here I am doing what? I am going to insert one element into our list. A new object will not be created here. In the same list, this 25 is going to be updated here. Okay, I will show you that point. Right. Just I will show that one also. Let us take some different example here. So L equal to, I want to take some names here. Okay. Next I want to take, so in between I will insert father names. Okay. Okay. So these are the list of elements I'm going to insert, and I want to see the what are the elements that are present inside a L. So it is okay. Now I want to insert here at first location or 0th location I want to insert. So L dot insert of, let us see, the father name of NTR is Hari Krishna, for example. Yes, Hari Krishna. Okay. So see, here what happens? Inserted expects 2 arguments. So I have inserted on, I have used only 1. So what I have to do? I have to use the index also. That is what? 0 comma. I have to tell where I have to insert at 0th location. So if I print L now, it is going to give me what? See, at 0th location or 0th index, Hari Krishna is inserted. Now I want to insert some name here before Charan. That is, for example, Chiru. Okay, at which location? 0, 1, second location I want to insert. So L dot insert of, at second location I want to insert a name called as Chiru. So now what happens? If the list is the same, list is going to be modified. You have to check, understand this one. See, L only is going to be modified here every time. So it is modified here. If I print L, so new list is going to be appeared. That means the changes are going to be applied to the same list. How it is possible? It is possible because of our list is mutable. It can be changeable. Okay. In the same way, we can also insert 2 more names. That is at which index? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4th location I want to insert. Okay. 4th location, Nag, for example. Okay. So it is inserted. Next, 4th location Nag, 5th location Akhil is there, and 6th location Rana is there. So I want to change the 6th location, okay, to some Suresh Babu. Okay. Right. So now finally I want to show you the list which contains all the names. So see, Hari Krishna, NTR, Chiru, Charan, Nag, Akhil, Suresh Babu and Rana. Here one point we have to understand what? A particular index, if you want to insert any element, we can insert that element by using a method called as insert. So here it is not going to return anything. See, L dot insert, if I do this one, it is not going to print anything. That means it is not going to return anything. If it is not going to return anything, by default it is going to return what? None. Okay, as we have seen examples in previous methods also. Okay, now one more point I want to discuss about this index. That is, if I am going to insert same thing, I want to insert at 10th location. Is 10th location is there? See, 0th index, first index, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 indexes are there. If I am going to use 10, you may think that what? So 10th index is not there. We may get error. It will not give you any error. Reason is, if 10th location is not there, what happens? It is going to insert that element at last location. If I print L, what happens? It is going to insert one more Suresh Babu at last location. Okay, so this is about index. For example, okay, here I have taken what? Larger value. Let us take smaller value also. If I take smaller value, that is which is not present in our see, -1 I am going to take. If I take -1, where it has to be inserted? Check here. L. Where it is inserted? It is inserted at last but one location. Okay, that is, if the specified index is smaller than min index, then what happens? The element will be inserted which location? Last but one location. The reason is, I will explain here. So once again I will show you smaller one, for example. Now see, so what happens? It inserted before that, before last element. Okay, from backside is going to considered. From backside it is going to consider. For example, if I take -2, what happens? See, it is going to be considered as 0, is going to consider -1, and is going to consider as -2. Okay, if I am going to insert, let us take 0, what happens? It is going to insert at first location. See, first location. So you have to observe one thing, that if you are going to insert the element, the index which is not present, if you are trying to insert any element in the largest value which is not present, then it is going to be inserted at last position. If you are going to use the index which is less than 0, so minus indicates what? Reverse direction. From backside onwards it is going to give you. So it's going to give you what? Last side onwards it is going to give -1, -2, and so on. So it is going to consider what? 0. Last one is going to consider as, in reverse direction it is going to consider as what? 0. -1 means that before that it is going to consider as -1, -2, -3, and minus, and so on, 3, -4, and so on. Okay, so this is about insert method. Now let us go to next method, that is extend. So in the name it says what? Extending. So the method name is extend. Okay, here before going to tell an example for this one, I will take a small example. Here one block is there, for example, block is there. I want to extend this one. That means what? You are going to add something. Extending is nothing but adding some more. Okay, so in the same way here also, extend method is going to add all the elements. That means if I am going to give a group of elements, then it is going to add all those elements to the existing list. All those elements means what? Once again, those elements also should be present in other iterable object. That means what? It may be list, or it may be tuple, or it may be anything, string, or it may be anything. Compulsory if I am going to use extend. That is, for example, L1 I am going to take 10, 20, 30 is present in L1. If I am going to take L2, 40, 50, 60 I am going to consider here. Now I want to L1 want to extend L2. Now what happens? All the values that are present inside L2 will be added to L1. We have to understand this one. Okay. So what happens here? All the elements that are present in L2 will present in L1. That means L1 will have what? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. What about L2? I am not going to anything with L2. So if I ask L2, it is going to give me what? 40, 50 and 60. Okay. Just I will show you the example with the other types also. Here I have taken only two lists and I have shown you, but I will take one more string also and I will show you if I use extend method for that, how it is going to act. Now see, L1 equal to the list of elements I am going to take 10, 20 and 30, and L2 I am going to take as 40, 50 and 60. Okay. Now in L1 three elements are there, L2 three elements are there. Now L1 want to extend L1 dot extend of L2. Now see, so it is not going to return anything. Okay, that is not, it is going to return none. So L1 if I print, see what are the elements that are present in L1? So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Why it is going to be done? L1 is saying what? I want to, L1 is going to extend L2. That means L1 is adding, L2 is adding to L1. All the elements of L2 is going to add to L1. Now, for example, if I print L2 now, what happens? Only 40, 50, 60 are there. That means all the elements of L2 are added to L1. Okay. This is about extend. Now I want to show you with one string. I will take one string and I will extend that string. L2 dot extend of, let us take one string here, or you can take the string in one value, one variable, and we can also pass that variable here, no problem. So here see, if I see L2, what happens? See, this point you have to understand. You may think that directly Shiva is going to be added to the list, but one point we have to note here is whatever the type that we are going to write inside these brackets as a parameter, that should be iterable. Iterable means what? Compulsory group of values should be there in that. If I take L2, L2 is what? It is having group of values. Shiva is what? It is a only single string which contains number of characters. So here each and every, this is a iterable. Iterable means what? First time it is going to consider S, I, V, A. So generally in a for loop, we are going to take what? I in. Here what I have to write? Iterable object I have to write here. Okay. Like string or like list or like tuple and so on. So here also in brackets we have to write what? Iterable. So in this case what I have written? I have written only what? L2 dot extend of, this is what? Iterable object. So SIVA. So individually it is going to take. For example, let us take one more type. That is, I want to extend L1 now. L1 with some tuple type. Okay. That is 80 and 90. Two values I want to take. Now see, let us see L1. So what happens? These two values are going to be added to the list. So one point that you have to understand, what? Whatever the parameter I am passing to the extend should be iterable object. That means what? Group of value should be there in that type. That is what here L2 is having, what? Group of values. In this string what we are having? Group of characters. In this tuple what we are having? Group of values. So whatever we are passing for the extend, that should be what? Iterable object. Okay. So this is about extend method. So if you want to add only one value to the list, then we can go for append. We can go for insert. If you want to add group of values to the list, then we have to go for what? Extend method. Three methods are there for inserting the values into a list. First one is append, which adds the element at the last to the list. Next one is insert, which adds the element in a specified index, and next one is extend. Here also what happens? Extend is going to add the elements, group of elements at the end of the list only. Okay, right. So this is about extend. Till now we have seen what? Adding the elements to the list. That means what? Increasing the size of the list. Now I want to show you to decrease the size of the list. That means now I am going to show you the methods which are removing the elements from the list. So now the method is remove method. The method name is what? Remove. So this remove method is going to remove the element that what we have passed as a parameter to it. That is, for example, so remove, in the name it says what? It's going to remove something. Let us take L equal to 10, 20, 30, and I want to remove one element here. Just I will write what? L dot remove of 10. Then this value is going to be removed from this list. Okay. Now I will show you different cases in this remove also. Just I will take 5 or 6 elements in our list. Okay. Here list of elements has been taken. And now I want to use what? Remove method. L dot remove of 10 I want to remove. So it is not going to return anything. Okay. That means what? None is going to be returned. So if you want to see that, just okay, before going to see, let us take what is present in L. Okay. Now I want to remove one more element called as 20, and I will print it. If I print it, it is going to return what? You can understand. See, it's going to return what? None. Okay. So right. So that means what? If you want to remove any element from the list, we are going to use a method called as what? Remove. Now, if I am going to pass the element which is not present in the list, for example, I will take 60. See what happens? It will check for the 60 element. It is not present. So automatically it will say what? Value error. X not in list. The element what you are searching for is not in the list. Okay, this is one case. Okay, next case is I will take a duplicate values. 10, 20, 30. Once again 10, 20, 30 I am going to take. Now I want to delete, I want to remove an element that is 20, for example. So if I remove 20, generally what you think is 10, 30, 10, 30 has to present in the list. But what we are going to have here? 10, 30, 10, 20, 30. That means remove is a method which removes only first matching for this element or first occurrence of this element, so that only one element is removed from the list. Okay, right. So 2 points here we have to note. That is what? If you are going to remove the element which is not present in the list, then we are going to get an error called as what? Value error. Next, if there is any duplicates and if you are applying the remove method on that duplicate value, only first matching or first occurrence will be removed. That's it. Okay. Now second method for removing. So here we can observe what? Here what? First initially we are having what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The length of the list is what? 5 here. Here after removing, what happens? The size of the length is the size of the list is what? Decreased. So by using the by using append, insert, and third one is what? Extend. We are increasing the size, and by using the remove, we are going to do what? Decreasing the size of the list. And next method for doing for decreasing the size of the list is what? Pop. So if you know about the concept of stack, there we can see this method, that is pop. So for a stack we are having what? Push and pop methods. Push is for what? Inserting the element to a stack. Pop is what? To delete the element from the stack. So in the same way here also we are having the pop method. So it removes the element at the given index. So remove will remove what? I want to remove an element a particular element, then I have to go to remove. But here the case is, if you want to remove any element at particular index of the list, then I have to go to the pop method. Okay, that means pop is there in this one list I am going to consider. I want to remove the element at third index, second index 0 1 2. Then I have to write what? L dot pop of 2. This element is going to be removed. Okay, so now with a small example I am going to show you about this pop. Just see here, L dot remove what? It is not going to return anything. Now let us see whether pop is going to return anything or not. So it will return where your remove method is not going to return anything. Let us see what it is going to return. So 5 elements I am going to take, and I want to pop L dot pop of the index 2. 2 means what? 0 1 2. See, it is going to return 30. Sir, you told that the index, the value that is at present at 2 will be removed. Then why it is going to return 30? That means before going to delete, it is showing you what it is going to delete. Now if you see L, we cannot observe 30. That means your remove method is not going to return anything. Just it is going to remove the element what we have passed to it. But here pop method is going to return and remove the element. The point is what? It is going to return and remove the element what we have passed to it. Okay, this is about pop. Now let us see some more cases about this one. L dot index, sorry, n dot pop of only 4 elements are there. That means what? Only up to index 3 is there. Let us give 5 here. If I'm going to give 5, what happens? It is going to search for the 5, but is there any 5 in our list? It is not there. So we are going to get what? Index error. Right. This is about pop method. Generally, this pop method is going to use in the concept of stacks. How it is going to be used? I will show you now. See here. Let us 1 minute. The same example I will repeat. L dot, first I will print L here. So what is there? 10 20 40 50 are there. Now L dot pop, if I do in this way, see what happens? It is going to remove 50. Why it is going to remove 50? I will explain now. As you know the concept of stack, okay, stack is going to store the elements. It follows the principle called as last in first out. That means whatever the element that is inserted last will be removed first. See here, just I am going to show you the elements that are going to be inserted into stack. So for example 10 I am going to insert. So 10 is inserted, 20 is inserted, 30 is inserted into the stack. So according to the stack principle, what is the last element I have inserted here? 30. So if I want to remove the element, 30 will be removed first. That is nothing but popped first. If I apply pop, it is going to return what? Last element that is inserted into the stack. In the same way, among these 4, which is the last element I have inserted? 50. So if you are not going to pass any index to this pop, by default it is going to consider as what? Last element that is going to be inserted to our list, which is nothing but we can consider as -1 also. Okay, right. Here if you see, it follows what? Last in first out principle. Okay, now just I want to differentiate between remove and pop, because both are for what? Both are for removing the elements from the list only, but just I want to differentiate between remove and pop. So if you want to remove an element, if you want to remove an element from a list, I have to go for remove method. If you want to remove any element, then I have to go for remove method. But if you want to remove a last element, generally a last element, then we have to go for pop. That means without passing any parameter, If we want to remove last element, then I have to go for pop. You may think that, sir, why you are specifying only last element? If I want to remove any element, I can pass index no here. Yes, but generally this is used for what? It is used in the concept of stack. When we are going for stacks, this pop is going to be used. So directly I am saying what? If you are not passing any parameter, it is going to remove last element. Otherwise, we can also say what? At specified index, last element, or at specified index. Here what can I say? At particular element I have to pass. Next, in this remove, it is not going to return anything. That means it is going to return what? None. But here it is going to return a value which is going to remove. That means what? Which is, okay, I am going to remove. Before going to remove the element, it is going to return that one. But in the case of remove, what happens? It is not going to return, just it is going to return what? None. Okay, if whatever the element we are going to pass to the remove, if it is not present in the list, what we are going to get? Value error. You can see here in this case, you can observe in this case value error. Now here in this case, what happens? If I am not going to pass any value also here, or some index, let us take the index, that is 5. Here also we are going to get what? Index error. If you are passing the index which is not present in the list, we are going to get index error. And one more point I have to tell you, what if here I will take the list which is empty and I will perform the concept of pop operation. So L equal to empty list, I am going to take L dot pop. If I try to perform pop operation on the list which is empty, I am going to get index error. In the same, here also index error. And if you are going to specify any index which is not present in the list, we are going to get what? Index error. So this is the concept of remove and pop. So remove and pop are used for what? To remove the elements from the given list. Okay, so when we are going for remove concept, we have to pass the particular element. When you are going for pop, we will pass the index of the element. If you are not going to pass any index to the pop method, then automatically it is going to return, it is going to remove the last element of the list. So that means what? It is following last in first out order. Okay, this is about pop and remove methods in with list concept. Now let us go to next method. So this is about what? Adding and removing the elements. So for adding we have used what? For adding we have used a methods called as append, next one is insert, and next one is extend, for adding the elements into the list, for adding. Next, for removing the elements from the list, I am going to use two methods. One is remove method and another one is pop method. Okay, these are for what? Removing. So these are the some of the methods that can be applied on our list. So in next session, let us see some more methods that can be applied on our lists. Thank you.